I'm about to show you how to not waste your 3D printing filament. So all that poop that comes out of pretty much any of the newer printers nowadays, I put them into a resin silicone mold, so silicone molds that are meant for resin casting. I used a heat gun, which is probably not the most efficient way. I just didn't fancy putting it in the oven where we cook our food and, eat from. So I used my heat gun. It took maybe about 15 minutes. I started putting all of the poop that I had that I saved up from the back of my printers. Most of it was brown and silver, just because I've been printing tavern mugs, so that's the colour they were. As you can see, it's a fairly tedious process, so you just got to chuck it in, then start melting the filament, wait for it to melt. And I would recommend doing this slowly, because my first little bits didn't really have the glass texture that the rest of it had. So make sure that, first half an inch to an inch is really melted down, because that's the piece that I really wish was shinier. And do it all within the same time frame, because what you don't want is the start of it to cool down before you start putting the rest of it in, because that's kind of what I had. I came back to it, I did a little bit, did a little test, realized I need to be in a ventilated space. So even though this is PLA, make sure you're in a well ventilated room with a fan on, window open, just so you're not breathing and all that. So I melted it all down. I then stuck it in the fridge. Not sure if that was the best idea, but I did. I just wanted to cool down really quick. Do it on some sort of plate. I did do it on my cutting mat, but my cutting mat started warping. So then I moved to a plate, so make sure you do that too. And as you can see, it doesn't really go flat, so if any of you have advice on how to make it go flat at the bottom, I didn't want to scrape across it, and peeling it all off was a bit of a pain. It probably took me about 5 minutes, but this is sped up here. But as you can see, the results are fairly clean. I'm fairly happy with this.